Hey, how are you doing, guys? Gray here, and today we are back for quarterfinals of the P4G. We're going up against TheUziGunner and his Thunderclap Titans in what is a rematch of Week 6. We were able to pick up the win in Week 6, however it was a very close game and we only really won because of his lack of knowledge about Veluza. So I don't expect this to be an easy game, and also I hate rematches in playoffs, just how it is. Be sure to go check out Uzi and his side of the battle. If you are enjoying the content, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's get into the battle. Okay, so here we are for the battle against Uzi. P4G quarterfinals. What do you bring? The Sandaconda does come. There is the Kilowattrel. It's the Okidoki. I kind of expected that. And the Slowking. So no Delphox is actually really nice for me. The Sandaconda makes things a little bit more awkward, but I'm still going to lead off. My Piloswine just looks better in this matchup. Now it has to deal with just Kilowattrel. I guess to an extent it might have to try and do something against the Dunsparce, depending on what its set is. And yeah, we'll see how things go. No Decidueye. I think he brought Decidueye last time, I could be wrong. But he definitely brought the Okidogi, the Slowking, Grimmsnarl, and the Dunsparce last time. He has traded out the Sandslash and the Delphox for Kilowattrel and Sandaconda. This is actually way better. If I can get rid of the Kilowattrel early, Sinistcha looks a lot better. So that might be part of the plan. Definitely glad that I took the Shuka off of Skuntank, because that was literally only there for the Sandslash. Granted, it could have been able to take a hit from Sandaconda, but we cannot do anything to Sandaconda. So yeah, game plan is to try and set up with Hawlucha in the end game, try and win that way. Whittle things down with rocks, Rocky Helmet, Aftermath, just general chip. Greedent can also be a win con, potentially, depending on how the game pans out. And also Sinistcha, if we are able to position well, might be a win con too. So yeah, good luck, have fun to Uzi. Regardless, win or lose, we've had a great season. And there's no shame in losing to someone as good as Uzi. As much as I would love to win this game, I just want a clean one. That's it. And there's the Sandaconda lead. Okay, so there's a chance that he just sets up his rocks in return, but setting up rocks I think is incredibly important for us, especially if his Kilowattrel is not Boots. If it's like Choice Scarf, then we'll be in a much better spot against it, being able to chip it down. But I kind of do expect it to be Boots. It just makes sense. This forces him into a 50-50. Does he want to stay in? Potentially take an Icicle Crash. He's just going to Glare. That's fine. As long as I can get my Rockers up here, that is absolutely fine by me. Okay. So that's like best case scenario on turn 1. I guess best case scenario would be he misses a Stone Edge. But this is a close second. Right, what have you got in the back? He could definitely set up his rocks. He could also just go into Slowking here. I have a double that I can make just straight into Sinistcha. He's going to stay in. I think maybe set up his own rocks. I could have just clicked Icicle Crash on that turn, but I'm also fine with this. He does just set up rocks. This getting paralyzed now is a little bit less of an issue in comparison to later in the game. What's his best switch into this? Probably is Kilowattrel. Do I want to match a gotcha once, just for the first time? I think I do. I don't need to set up immediately, so I'm just going to match a gotcha once. He's actually going to stay in, probably just to glare me. So we're going to get a good chunk off on this. Can we get a burn as well? Ah, okay, no, he's Citrus. That should be fine. The glare's coming out, like, yeah, 100%. I could have been sub on this, but I felt like I needed the 4 moves that I currently have to be able to deal with this. I could go for another Magic Gotcha. I could go for a Shadow Ball, catching either an Okidogi or a... Yeah, I think that's a better play. Catching potentially a Kilowattrel as well. These are two of the things that I don't mind getting paralyzed too much. So he's Sand Tombs. Okay, I see you. Good turn. What a turn. Sand Tomb is actually fine for me here. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm once again just going to Shadow Ball. Because, one, I want to stay in on this mon, I don't have a great deal to deal with it. And 2, it still catches the switch. It will do enough that it puts it in Machigotcha range. Probably will be a 2-shot actually from Shadow Ball, if I had to guess. Just kind of judging off of the damage of Machigotcha, it did like 60. And this is not super effective. Same strength. But definitely an interesting set. I respect it. The rocks are going to be a little bit of a nuisance, but okay, so if we see a Kilowatt Rule here, that's like amazing. Uni, that was Kilowatt Rule. Okay, amazing. Love to see that. We will take 50% every day of the week, and we just go back into our Piloswine. Realistically, Piloswine's only got one use at this point, and that is to deal with this mon. He can U-turn, by all means. I partially expect the U-turn. But he can also Hurricane very freely and then U-turn the next. Okay, so he's going to Roost. We knew he was Boots. He is Roost as well. We are doing very small amounts of chip damage though. Very important. Do I want to Ice Shard once? If he goes into Slowking, I can go out into Skuntank. So I'm pretty happy just to Ice Shard, and if he tries to U-turn here, then we're in a much better spot. He should Scout for it, but on the off chance that he doesn't, I'm not doing a lot of damage of Ice Crash anyway. If he stays in and Hurricanes and I just click Earthquake, that's not good for me. So yeah, I think clicking Ice Shard and catching a potential U-turn might be the play. Yeah, cool. So you get a solid 50% off on this as he does U-turn. Amazing. Crit. That did. I didn't even see the HP bar move, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I saw it move. So I'm gonna say crit mad, and if I lose this game now, it's because of that. Okie Dokie comes in, I go into Sinistra. Dunsparce comes in. Threat comes in. I think I have to go Sinistra on this as well, maybe. I could also go hard into Raikou and click Aura Sphere. That's actually pretty free against his team. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Because I don't want to have to deal with a coil set if I can help it. We might end up losing our Raikou here to the Dunsparce, but I think there's worse things that could happen. Here's Boomburst. Okay, so he's special. And he's Throat Spray. Good to know. I think I just Aura Sphere to always put this in range of something else. There's no reason to do anything else here. And forcing the switch means he never gets the Throat Spray again, which is great for the rest of my team. So Aura Sphere will do a good chunk. By a good chunk, I mean it will crit and kill. Clearly, that crit is payment for the U-turn crit. You know, crit for crit definitely had the same impact. Yeah, I'm sorry for that one, Uzi, but unfortunately the game is the game, and you got to take the crits when they happen. Okay, so the Dunsparce going down is pretty nice. It's not like the biggest deal for my team in the grand scheme of things, but it's definitely nice to have a bulky mon like that out of the way. I will keep this Raikou around depending on what he goes into. I don't think there's anything that I need to particularly stay in on, so I will keep it around. And we're starting to position relatively well, I think, for Hawlucha endgame. We do need chip on the Slowking, we need chip on the Sandaconda still. I guess a +1 we should be able to do the damage, but I'm a little bit surprised that he brought a Glare Sandaconda against a team that I ran, like, I think it was 2 sub-mons last time, but I also understand it. Okay, so you come in. My play is always to... I mean, I could click Aura Sphere once, but I think my play is always just go into Skuntank and follow through the plan of when Grimmsnarl came in. Because he won't be able to Parting Shot, he won't be able to T-Wave. All he can do is either attack me. If he's Bulk Up, we have Sludge Bomb. And if he screens, we can knock off into Sludge Bomb, potentially. You also have the Endeavour, if he decides to go into something like Okie Dokie. Okie Dokie would be problematic. It probably, at that point, I'll have to see out the screens and then go into Hawlucha. But we'll see what his set is, or what he wants to do here, before we think too far ahead. He may also just go for a Spirit Break here. And that's absolutely fine by me. That's a crit. Very critty game so far. But I don't mind that crit too much. Simply for the fact that I can click Endeavour on something after this. I am going to knock. Actually, he was Citrus. I should have gone for Sludge Bomb instead. I was going to knock just to cover the Sandaconda. But the Sandaconda, I think, has shown that it can't actually do enough to my Sinistcha, so that's fine. I can preserve this later. I think I can still switch into one Spirit Break. It looks like I can probably go into one Spirit Break plus Rocks, if I had to guess. I have the option now. Do I want to go into Greedent or do I want to go into Sinistcha? I think Sinistcha is probably the better play. I guess I could also go into you, knowing that he's boots on Kilowattrel. He should never do enough to Greedent. So, like, as a mid-ground, I could definitely go into Piloswine in case he wants to go into... in case he doubles into Kilowattrel, is what I'm thinking. To try and force himself, or try and get himself some health back. He just Sand Teams. Okay. So Sinistcha was the correct play in the end, but... not the end of the world. Icicle Crash is still very free. And we just got a... Mud Slap? Really, Uzi? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? I didn't even know Mud Slap was legal. I thought it was banned. So, perhaps I should have read the rules. But in no world did I expect the Mud Slap. I'm going to be honest. Losing this is not the end of the world. Come on, Piloswine. You know you want to hit one inaccurate move through 2 evasion drops. I mean, I don't think it matters too much at this point. I'm just going to Ice Shard and hope for the best. We're not going to hit. Tough. Okay. So, unfortunately, we're going to get cheesed out of our Piloswine, which is a little bit shitty, but it is what it is. Can't help it. Raikou comes in and clicks Scold pretty freely. Do I want to have it take that Rocks damage? Probably not. I think just going back into Sinistcha again is the play. I would assume that Uzi would have checked to make sure that he wasn't breaking any rules before bringing Mud Slap. So, yeah, he's just going to Mud Slap again. This could be a little bit of pain. Never mind, Sinistcha is the GOAT. Fuck that Sandaconda. Fuck that Sandaconda or anything. Everything it stands for. But, yeah, we've lost our primary switch into Kilowattrel and quite a bit of health, so we need to be careful with how we play around the rest of this game. If we keep Slowking healthy, we're in a bad spot. See, this Mon, it's very scary if it gets set up again. And by set up, I mean by it gets its health back again. Now, the question is... no, I don't live a Hurricane. I thought I'd check. You never know. How much does Greedent take? It takes a good amount. Like a very good amount. But I could also knock this off. I think that's what I want to do. I still need to get... what, Slowking in range? Okie Dokie could be a berry as well. Okay, he does just roost. That's fine. Okay, so we've recreated this as best as possible. We were up to this turn and it DC'd on this turn. He showed U-turn, but then it DC'd. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Curse. And then we're going to go from there. He will take the Jiboka damage, which, you know, he had like a sliver of HP missing before. That sliver of HP, it is what it is. So yeah, he's going to take the Jiboka. We're going to go back up to full and we're going to have a Curse up. So we'll see what he wants to go into. And then we'll go from there. Greedent can put in some work from this position. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit flustered. And I'm sure he probably is as well, from having to recreate that, because it was an absolute bitch to recreate. There was parts of the game that didn't happen, and did happen. Funnily enough, the crit on U-turn that he got, that I was memeing, he got again in the recreation, so it was meant to be. But yeah, we're back to where we are. He didn't select a Pokemon in this situation, and we click Curse. See what he wants to do against this absolute demon, because we could be Terra Ghost, and I do wish that I was Terra Ghost in this position, because it would have been so much better. But you know, it is what it is. Fairy was better against other things on his team, so yeah, he does go into the Okie Dokie. So this, I think, will force a potential 50-50. As I have apparently lost my calc. Where is that gone? Apologies if you can see what's going on. I think it's that one. Let's move that across. Let's just check the calc. There we go. I'd lost it. I'd lost it at that point. So he doesn't have any screens up or anything like that. We are at -1 speed as well. So to an Okie Dokie. We do have the Psychic Fangs. If I Terra, I still live a Gunk Shot. So I think I'm going to Terra and I'm going to click Psychic Fangs. If he expects me to Terra, then he might just go for Gunk Shot. But it's a 50-50. Regardless, I believe I always live this Gunk Shot. If I Terra Fairy. Yes. So I'm going to go for it. If he gunks, that's just a good play. He's actually going to withdraw. Okay, so he's going to switch. He's going to scout for my Terra, which is a good play. He goes into Dumban. I think that's fine. Should I be able to set up another Curse? I might be able to. Do I want to take that damage though? Because it then would put me more in range of Okie Dokie. Let's have a look. If I get to +2. If I click Gyro Ball there, oh boy, we'd be in a position. Okay. We've seen his physical. I'm gonna go for another Curse. That might be a misplay. But there's a chance the Grimmsnarl can't do enough here. I didn't calc the Skuntank damage earlier because it was a crit, but without the crit it put me down to 201, so I'm going to check that. Spirit Break looks to be fairly offensive actually. Is he choiced? Hang on. Did I fuck up there? He might be choice banned actually. He might be choice banned Trick. If that's the case, then that's a problem. I should have calculated that before clicking Curse, for sure. Okay, so he just reflects. Can Greedent win from here? Hang on. Hang on. Greedent at +2. +2. With a reflect up. I mean, I'm going to go for the Gyro Ball here. Hopefully he goes for a light screen. He's actually going to withdraw. Okay. Slowking coming in? Gintoki? That was the Slowking, if I remember rightly. Yeah.
That is a lot of damage. That's a crit. Yeah. Very critty game. But you know, it is what it is. That's the game we play. I'm going to click knock. Iron defense. I see you. That does nothing. Weakness policy as well? That is kind of fire. But I should always be able to revenge you. Right? With Raikou, because I'm Specs. I think I go into Skuntank first. Yeah. This might be Trick Room, actually. But it was faster than me. Okay. Wishing I had Toxic now, but the Endeavour is going to come in handy. Should at the very least be able to keep him low. But I think Trick Room has a chance of just winning from here regardless. But if he Trick Rooms, Greedent will be faster. I just need to Reflect to go. It's going to withdraw. Oh shit. Oh shit. I will take this. I will take this every day of the week. That's in range of Rocky Helmet. That's 100% in range of Rocky Helmet. So we're almost in a position... Like, Greedent's probably my win con now. Because it can take on Kilowattrel. I just Flamethrower. I don't see any reason to not. He gunks. That doesn't even knock me out. And I want him to knock me out here. I think so. I think I do want to just knock me out here. So I'm just going for a Sludge Bomb. As he misses. That isn't going to take him out. And this puts us in a position where he doesn't have the weakness policy anymore. We just need to kill Kilowattrel and Raikou can win. I think that might be the case, but killing Kilowattrel might be easier said than done. I think Kilowattrel does still do enough from the range that I'm at. Kilowattrel. 22, 26. I think we are lower than that. I think we're at like 108. So after rocks, we will die. Big crit. This is just a game of crits, isn't it? Like, that literally is just how it is. Does he not die to after? I thought it was... Okay, well, I fucked up there. That is my bad. So I think instead I go Holucha. Okay, so here we are, back where we were yesterday, as it actually turns out. We're now a whole day later. We've had to recreate on Showdown. Been a bit funky with it, but we're back to where we were. I did click Holucha here. I'm not changing up that play. And now I think my play is always to Stone Edge, because if he goes into Kilowattrel, we get a lot of damage off. If he stays in and gunks, it procs our Citrus Berry, and we're in a good spot. So that's the play I'm going to make. It's I've had too much time, in fact, thinking about this. So overthinking is definitely a thing that could happen. But also, if we get hit by the gong shot and we survive, we do proc our Unburden, so therefore we are faster on the next turn and we can work around it in that way. So realistically, if he switches out, he has a sack. That's like the main thing, is that he then has a sack. If he stays in and gunks here, then we're in a pretty decent position. Last time, as long as we, even if we don't connect, like, we can then just click Acrobatics the next turn. So I think Stone Edging is always a play. We can't switch out because we have Mons that are only really going to die to this. So this is our only Mon that can actually deal with Okie Dokie at this point. And if I killed it on that turn, yeah, if I killed Okie Dokie on that turn, then we would have been in a different situation. But yeah, he's just going to gunk. He gets the Toxic Chain again. As long as we hit the Stone Edge, okay, we're good. I need damage on the Slowking. Is the main thing. I need damage on Slowking. But I think regardless, do I want to switch at this point and preserve this Mon? Because I can do damage later on, possibly. The Toxic Poison is better than the regular Poison. I will say that much. We'll be at more health. Another question is whether or not we just go for the guaranteed damage on the Kilowattrel. I don't think Kilowattrel is coming in. But my point is that do we just go for the guaranteed damage on Kilowattrel? Possibly. I think the end game is trying. If we can get rid of Slowking, then I think Greedent should be able to do enough. If we get rid of the Kilowattrel, I think Raikou should hopefully be able to clean up the game. If he goes into Grimmsnarl now, then I have to attack once. I have to attack once regardless, and I want to keep my health on Sinistcha as best I can to force him to Hurricane and potentially miss. Like, that's another outlet I have. So yeah, in comes Grimmsnarl. This might just give us the damage that we need. It might just give us the damage we need. He could also be Fake Out. It's definitely a possibility, but I think regardless, my play is still to just Drain Punch. Yeah, he's going to Reflect. So that actually gives us the damage that we need to now knock it out with Raikou. So he can set up both screens here. It's not the best case scenario by any means. But can I see them out actually? Could I just see them out? I think regardless I want to get the damage off on this. Nothing outspeeds Kilowattrel after, but as long as I have one more round of rocks on my Raikou, I should be okay. So I think I'm just going to click Acro. Because it catches the Slowking on the switch in as well. And I think at that point actually the Toxic might end up helping me. Because it would then put me in a position where I can let this drop to Slowking, but because he's got the Reflect up, he doesn't need to Iron Defense. That's something I got to think about. But yeah, regardless, I'm gonna click Acro, and I mean, I just have to kill this, right? I think that's the general gist. I could also keep this alive, because it now dies to rocks. So I could keep this alive, is what I'm thinking. And then go into Sinistcha, maybe, and start Calm Minding. But I can do that in front of the Slowking anyway. Right, so I think what I want to do here is just click Acro. Scary Face. That's some fire tech. I respect the hell out of that. That is very cool. Regardless, I have to go into Raikou. Kilo comes in. I need to preserve this like 100% need to preserve this. 32, like... I just need to break these screens. And I can do that with Greedent. So I think my play has got to be to go Greedent. The Hurricanes, that does 37, does get confusion. Okay, well, I've got to Psychic Fangs. I kind of have no choice at this point. The Hurricanes... I think that might just be game. I don't think there's anything I can do now. I just needed to be able to break the screens, and Raikou did kill Kilowattrel. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, I think that's going to be game. That's so unfortunate. We're at 20% as well, so I think this Hurricane just always kills us. I can hope for a crit T-Bolt. I think that's like all I can actually hope for here, is just a crit T-Bolt. If the screens were broken, we had a chance. I think without the screens being broken, we just don't have a chance. Man, that is very frustrating. But it's roughly how this game has gone, so I can't be... well, I can be annoyed about it, but at the same time, like, it's just this game has been bullshit from start to finish. And yeah, now we're in a position where I believe Kilowattrel should just clean up, barring some miraculous act of God. Maybe I should have just clicked T-Bolt on that turn before, taken my damage. But it was tough. It was a 50-50 because we went to Slowking, and I mean, I guess if he had Calm Mind, we break the screens and then we switch. Yeah, that was a better play. I should have just gone Greedent. So that was a throw on my part. But at the same time, it is what it is. The game, I think I was at too low a health anyway. He T-bolts, we are going to live that. We're not going to get a crit, unfortunately. So I think now we're in a position where we will just lose, barring Hurricane misses. That is literally the only thing that I can now hope for. And boy, is that tough. I need to Calm Mind. He hasn't missed a Hurricane, he's got the confusion, he's got the crit. Can he miss one? Can he just miss one? That's all I ask. No, he doesn't, so that's going to be game. Our season ends like that. It feels bad, it really does. It does feel bad, but at the same time, I could have played that endgame a little bit better. I think going Greedent, just breaking the screens immediately and that just being that, was always the play. But, you know, what can you do? How can you predict the crit into, the confusion into crit? There was a higher chance of me just losing on that confusion anyway. But it's the game we play, and unfortunately, our road ends at the quarterfinals in the P4G. Good luck to Uzi, except for I know who's playing, so bad luck to Uzi. He'll understand. And yeah, I guess we'll see you for the next league. If you enjoyed P4G, then please do leave a like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the season if you haven't already. Support has been fantastic. I appreciate all of you, and until the next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.